Welcome to my YouTube channel. On this channel, we find facts and fine-tune figures. Welcome back, guys. So on today's episode of Fabric with Francis, we'll be talking about Data Wrangler. What is Data Wrangler? Data Wrangler is a data preparation tool for data scientists. It is within Microsoft Fabric Notebook, where you can actually use it for data preparation. We all agree that data preparation and data cleaning takes majority of the time for any data project. But with Data Wrangler, you can bring your data preparation to speed. So it's also a low-code interface that will be very useful to data scientists and also data analysts that may want to do a minor data cleaning within Notebook that are not familiar with coding. So on today's episode now, we are going to be creating a new workspace for the purpose of this demonstration. So I'll select a new workspace now and call it demo WG, which is demo data wrangler. Then I will then click on apply. So once I click on apply, our workspace will be created. So inside our workspace now, we need also be needing a lakehouse. So that lakehouse is what we are going to be using to actually bring in our data set. So I'm switching to a data engineering experience now. So once I switch to data engineering experience, I can then create my lakehouse. So I'll call my lakehouse LH for lakehouse, and then I'll click on create. Let's not forget that lakehouse can take both structured and unstructured data. So I'm going to be uploading a CSV file into our lakehouse and then use our notebook to read that CSV file so that we can access the content of that CSV file. So our lakehouse has been created. So I'll come to file right here and click on these three ellipsis dot here, and then I click on upload and click on upload file. So from there I can navigate into my local machine where I have data sets for this demonstration. So data set is a CSV file that I call raw data. So I will select that and click on open, and then I also click on upload. So once I click on upload now, the CSV file will be uploaded for me. Then I can then open a new notebook and then read the data set with the notebook. Now SQL endpoint 2 has also been created, and also our data set has also been uploaded as a CSV file. So I can close this interface now and come to open notebook. So I'll click on a new notebook. So once I click on a new notebook now, I can then actually read my data set from the notebook. So our notebook is created with an empty cell. So what I will do now is that I'm going to navigate into our file. I think when we have our data set loaded into tables, you find all the tables in the tables folder, but we don't have any table in here. What we have is an unstructured data in CSV file. So we just come to file folder here and click on this file folder. So once you click on this file folder, it's going to open this file explorer, and then you can see the CSV file that will upload. So with that, you can then click on these three dots here, and then you can load your data into pandas data frame or spark data frame. So for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to load it into spark data frame. So that's another beauty of Fabric Notebook. You can either work in a language that you are communicating, be it Spark or any other language that is convenient. So I'm going to take out this other cell now because we are not going to be needing it again, and then collapse this file explorer so that we have more real estate space to work on. So the code has been generated for us to actually read the data set inside that CSV file. You can read that the format has been specified, and then the other option is true, and then it's actually giving us the part of the CSV file. So I can run this code now, and then we'll be able to see the data set that is inside of that CSV file. So once that CSV file is loaded, we can then continue with our demonstration of Data Wrangler. So on our notebook, we see that we have Home tab, we have Edit tab, we also have Run tab, and we also have Data tab. We have View tab. So right in our Data tab is where you can access Data Wrangler. So if I come to Data Wrangler now and try to launch it, it's going to be looking for pandas data frame. That's the major limitation of Data Wrangler for now. The only data frame that Data Wrangler can work with is the data set in pandas data frame. But our data set is actually in Spark data frame. So how do we do that? So what you have to do is that you have to switch from Spark framework to your pandas framework. So I'm going to write the code to switch to pandas framework in another cell now, so I can just paste it because I already typed it before. So what is happening is that I'm importing a pandas library, and then our data set is stored in df variable, so I'm just overwriting that df that I should now use to pandas function. So for the sake of demonstration, let me just write it. I'll just write import pandas as pd, then I can enter, then I can do df equals to df dot to pandas. So that's the function that will actually change our data frame from Spark framework to pandas framework. So that's to pandas. So once that is done, I can then run this cell and also display it. So let me just take this one out and then use the one that I used earlier. So I will just run this cell now. So once I run this cell, then our data frame is now in pandas framework, and every manipulation that you may want to do with pandas library, you can then do it this way. Either you are doing your data exploration, you are doing your df.add, df.info, df.describe, all of those things are now possible within um our notebook now that our data set is now in pandas framework. So now that our data set is in pandas framework, you can then come back to launch your data set or your data wrangler. So if you do that now, it's automatically going to be picking up your data frame, which is now in pandas data frame. If you have multiple data frames, all of them will actually be picked up by your data wrangler. Say you have df1, df2, and every pandas data frame that you have will automatically be detected by your data wrangler. You can then launch your data wrangler. So once I click on that, it's going to give me the data wrangler interface where you can then do your data cleaning. For those that are coming from Power BI background, this is also like Power Query in Power BI, where you have your column profiling, you have the summary of all your entire data set. So you can see already that you have your data shape here. This is probably because it's in preview. I'm also using a developer account. So you see that we have um, 30 columns and 5,000 row of data. So you can see it's showing us all those things, and then it's also giving us information about missing data. And you can see each of the column also and see their column properties. And you can also click on this ellipsis right here, and then you can do some of minor operations here. You see, you can also scroll across each of the column and see what is going on, and then you can also see the summary of each column. So on data wrangler interface now, there are a number of operations that you can perform. So you have your find and replace operations, which contains about 4 operations, which include all the listed operations right here. Then you also have your format operation, which is up to 7 operations. Either you want to convert text to capital case, or you want to do date time formatting, or you want to do date time formatting. So you can do all of those with your data wrangler. So these are the other operations that are listed for your data wrangler. You also have your schema operations too, which is about changing your column type, drop column, rename column, and any operation whatsoever. So once you select any operation you want to actually perform, it's going to automatically generate the code for you. So these are all the operations that are possible with data wrangler. So we are going to perform few operations now, and then the code for that will be automatically generated for us that you can then add back to your notebook. So from this summary now, we can see that we have some missing values. So I can scroll across this view now and see where those columns are actually adding to the missing value. We can see that we have this C22, C23 up to C29 of missing value. So what I would do now is that I can just select this C21, hold my shift button on my keyboard, and I scroll across, and then I select C29 also. So from then I can then drop columns. So once I do drop column, it's automatically going to generate the code for me. So from here, you can see that it's actually giving me the preview of the columns I want to drop. So I can scroll across again to be sure that all the columns that I want have been selected, and then they will be dropped accordingly. So now that they have been selected and previewed for me, then I can click on apply. So once I click on apply, I will see the code right here. Then if there is any other transformation I also want to do, I can also add them to this um data cleaning process. Say for example now, let me look for one formatting operation I want to do with a particular column. Say you know that when you are doing machine learning project, machine only understands number. We can do auth encoding for, let's say, this city name. So I can come to my format operation now, or I can come to my formula operation. We have about three operations. We have multi-label binarizer, we have one auth encode, we have calculate text length too. So I can select one auth encode for this, and then I can select a target column. In my case now, I want to do that for driver city name. So I will navigate to that city name, and then I will select it. Once I have it selected, then I'm going to either do it either for missing data or not including missing data. Then I can also click on apply. So once I click on apply and I'm through with all the data cleaning that I want to do, then I can then copy to clipboard, or I can click on add code to notebook. So I'm going to opt for add code to notebook. So once that is done, I will expect that there will be a new cell where all the transformation that I have done will be actually generated for me. You can see that, okay, these are the Wrangler generated code and well formatted. You can see is also doing a wonderful work with the commenting, saying that, okay, we are dropping all these columns, and then we are also doing auth encoding for this column. So I can then run this cell and then see our data sets in a clean state based on the cleaning that we have done with the data wrangler. So I believe that with this tool, we are bringing data cleaning to speed, and then the time you spend on data cleaning will be minimal as compared to when you do not have data wrangler. See you till next time. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe, and also you can share with other people that will be interested in exploring Fabric. Thank you.